guys. This is another episode of the Real R&R podcast. As you can tell, I'm by myself this week. My co-host had some work to do heading to Miami, so going at it by myself. You know, I've never done like a solo pod. Like, I've sat in front of the camera, talked by myself before, but I was definitely sitting up here like, I don't know if I could do this. This is a little different, something new for me for sure. But had a good week. Just been applying to jobs still, trying to find something new, or switch my shift at work. But we'll always figure that out. Been checking the market out a little bit. Anybody see that AMD Nvidia push? AMD Nvidia, that AI stuff is really blowing up. I've been using it. A lot of people have been using it. Been trying to really figure out how to work it, make it effective for us, but it's definitely getting there. I'm gonna get into new music. I wanted to start with Yeat and Young Thug, My Wrist. I was really liking it, free Thug, free slime out that thing, but I really feel like Yeat has been putting out a good consistency at a good pace, at a good consistency. Like, I feel like he hasn't been putting out too much. Like Young Boy, I feel like Young Boy releases way too much, puts out way too much of his stuff. Just every month you get new Young Boy music versus he hasn't put out too little. Like I don't know, I'll use Kendrick as an example. Only comes out every few years. I feel like he gives you a little break to really digest what he's put out, and I've really been messing with it. I think this song was kind of blowing up on TikTok. That's what I heard, but not all the way sure. But I was liking what I heard from it today, and definitely go check that out. And then EST Gee released Turn the Streets Up. I want to talk about this one just because I feel like EST Gee, a lot of people weren't liking his last album, and I don't know, I liked some of the songs on Mad, like that was his last album. Anybody who does solo pods by themselves, I respect you. Because you got to really sit here and come up with ideas all yourself. I liked Last One's Left a lot, and I was waiting for more EST Gee music for real. I really wasn't the biggest I Never Felt None fan. That just wasn't my type of EST Gee. I wasn't really messing with it that much. But I did like Mad. I thought he was really getting like a good groove back, going back, reaching back into his old pocket. But I felt the same way about this single. Like, I really feel like he's been putting out same thing music consistently, and I like his sound. He's really been doing well. Yeah, but I feel like something I could really sit here and talk about for a minute is Ozuna. Okay, Ozuna, his last project before this recent EP that he just put out today, I really like the one that he put out today, Afro. He's really mixing in the Afrobeats. It's kind of like an Afro fusion type of album, and I really appreciate that from him because last week he had put out a song with Omale. Him and Omale had a remix So, and that was already on one of Omale's old projects, but Ozuna hopped on it, and I told AJ that I really feel like the Afrobeats artist and the reggaeton artist mix really well, and I think it's just because the sounds are really similar, the drums are really similar, the cadence is similar, and I could see how you could even hop from being a reggaeton artist to doing more so Afrobeats or an Afrobeat style. But Ozutochi, that was a project that came out around the end of last year. I really like that project. I feel like a lot of people weren't talking about that project. And I think one of the reasons that really happens in reggaeton especially is because it's really Bad Bunny focused right now. Like, I feel like I talked about Ozuna, Mike Towers, even Raul Alexandro, or Alejandro. Am I wrong about that? I mean, I don't want to mess up bro's name. Yeah, Raul Alejandro, he's really good too, and I feel like Ozuna and some of these smaller artists, their light is maybe getting dimmed by the fact that Bad Bunny's light is so bright right now. A lot of people are talking about him. He's very marketable, and his music is very good. I love Bad Bunny. I listen to Bad Bunny almost every day, but I know for a fact that Ozuna, Mike Towers, at least those two for me, are really giving Bad Bunny a run for his money as far as like quality of music and like what they're putting out. Definitely giving him a run for his money. And too. Well's last project, I was really messing with that. And some always say about Well, he has the best covers in reggae. So like, do you see this? He has crazy covers, crazy insane covers. Like, but to get back to the Ozuna album, I was really liking what I heard from it so far. I didn't really hear Skip all the way through. The song that I really got stuck on though was Kuarme El Alma. Kurarume El Alma. Let's go with that. Kurarume El Alma. That song had me on repeat. I ran that back a couple of times. Something else I can appreciate about Ozuna's artistry is his videos. I feel like every time I've seen Ozuna put out a new album, you get a plethora of videos from him. And I feel like this is something that's really lost in the art of music, having visuals to go with your music to really put a picture to the words that you're speaking. And I feel like he does a good job of this every project he puts out. Like, he always has a bunch of videos and they all look crazy. They look like he took time to do them before, and it's like, that's something I just really miss in music that I feel like we don't get a lot of. The song with Davido was real good. I wasn't the biggest Davido fan until a couple months ago. I would say my brother really put me on with Davido, and his most recent project I really liked. I feel like my brother really talked about it the first time. I didn't really get a chance to give my real input on it. I really liked it. Like, he has really great production on there. I forget who he was really working with. Like I said, just really gotten to Davido, but I really like what I heard from Davido on that, for sure. I really think more people need to put that respect though on Ozuna's name. Like, he is, if Bad Bunny's 1A, I feel like he could be 1B. Like, the quality of music he's been putting out over the past 3-4 years, just, and consistency is another thing for me. Like, artists being able to be consistent with their quality, I feel like that's really important, and that pushes you a lot farther when you're trying to get along in the music industry. Something I want to talk about, guys. When you start something new, especially something like this, like, I've never had to do a podcast by myself, but I feel like people don't give enough credit to the compounding effect of work. Like, the first time you do something, usually you're not going to be good at it. A lot of people are natural at certain things. They'll get really good at stuff really fast, but there's a lot of people where it takes a second. And I feel like this is something where it's always taken a second for me. Like, talking on camera, putting myself in front of a phone, a microphone, and every day trying to do that, make good content for you guys. That's been something that's been hard for me, but you're not supposed to be good at it at first, and I feel like I've really grown in the past year, literally just working on it by putting up the camera, saying different stuff, like working on my scripts, even like making on-the-fly adjustments. Like, and that's fine to make on-the-fly adjustments when you're trying to figure this out. That's literally what we've been doing the whole time with this podcast. Like, takes you a while, but as soon as you get your foot in the door, you get that momentum. That one kick of momentum could kick you into really going where you need to go. But I wanted to talk about the Rock Marcy and Jay Worthy album as well. This might not be something I would talk about as much with AJ, because I'm really into the underground, grimy hip-hop, and he really likes Larry June too, but I feel like we don't really get to talk about that side of hip-hop enough. So Rock Marcy and Jay Worthy put out a project called Nothing Bigger Than the Program, and I really like what I've heard from it so far. He has some good features on there, but it wasn't too feature heavy. He had a lot of old school features that I haven't seen in a while, like Corrupt. Absol was on there. Absol's verse was really good. I liked that. Bun B was on there. That was a name I hadn't seen in a while. J305, ASAP Ant, like, he had a lot of good features on there, and I got put on to Jay Worthy from Larry June, actually, with their last project, 2 Peas in a Pod. That has some really good beats on it, some really nostalgic beats. That's what I really get from this underground hip-hop, and from people like Jay Worthy and Larry June and Stove God Cooks and Griselda, all them. I really get that nostalgic feeling of how hip-hop used to be, quote unquote, or the old days of hip-hop. Like, it's definitely good now. I have a lot of artists that I really like the Yeats, the 21 Savages, the Thugs, the Drake's, Cole's, everybody, I'm still heavy into rap, but it really gives you that nostalgic feeling hearing artists over almost break beats, or I would call them upscale break beats. Like, they put new samples on them, different samples, mix crazy sounds in there, and they modernize it to make it a better listen for the modern listener who still appreciates that style of rap. I think that's something that they're really good at. I think Benny especially is really good at that too. Benny is I feel like he's good at mixing the modern style with old stuff, and mixing trap rap with street grimy breakbeat hip hop type of rap. Like, that's something that I really appreciate from them as a whole. I would talk about the Durk project, but I want to wait for AJ for that because I want to hear what he has to say about it. Personally, I won't be listening to it very much. I feel like Durk is trying to make this whole positivity switch and trying to really lean into, oh, I got this song with J. Cole and now I'm going to ride this sound. Me personally, I don't want that from Durk. You could have stayed you, bro. You ain't got to do too much. You know, like, I was cool with the What Happened to Virgil Star song with him and I think it's Sammy Sosa or Sosa Sammy, something along those lines. Those are good, positive, upbeat songs from Durk, but I want to hear the same Durk I've been hearing. And I know there's that old Jay-Z line, if you want to hear the old me, go listen to my old albums. But I don't know. It's just not the Durk I want to hear. That J. Cole song sounded real gimmicky, just not my thing. Like, me personally, I'm cool on the Durk for now. I'm going to give it a listen because I'm an old school Durk fan, but I don't know if it's really going to be for me. I don't know how much I'm going to have it in replay, how much I'm going to really listen to it, but I could be wrong. I could come back and be saying really good project. You never know. Maybe I want to talk about this. I'm kind of skeptical. This is more so just like a question segment. What do you guys think Travis Scott's next album is going to sound like? I feel like Travis Scott did a good job of not making the same album with Birds in a Trap to Astroworld, and I just really want to hear what he's gonna come out with next. Like, it's been 4 years, actually no, it's been 5 years, almost 6 at this point, since we've got a Travis Scott album, and I've seen him kind of out and about lately, just saying he was planning for the Houston Astros, and you've heard a couple different producers saying his project is going to be crazy, and he's released singles over the past couple of years. He's been dealing with a lot of stuff, and I feel like his perspective coming on this album is, I don't want to say it's going to be similar to Kendrick, but I feel like he's really going to have I feel like it's going to be a really, really good project just because he's had so much time to sit here and really digest everything that's happened to him. He's had time to grow as a person, and I feel like that's really going to make for a good album, and we're really going to get, like, his mind over the past 6 years, 5 years, and I think that's just going to make for crazy music, honestly. And, yeah, I think that project is going to be crazy. I don't even know what the new project is called, but yeah. This has been episode 7.5. We will see you guys again next week. We might honestly have 2 pods drop next week, depending on how AJ feels about this. I think this was a good experiment. This has been episode 7.5. Like, follow, subscribe. Hit us on all socials at Real R&R on all socials. See you guys next week.